Hi everyone, this is Vernon again with another upload to First Generation Transform, the channel that is dedicated to helping first generation candidate attorneys with tools, understanding, and approaches that you can use in your transition and smoother integration into the corporate world. In part 2, I will be sharing my suggestion on how to better manage the issue of relatability between the advantaged and disadvantaged groups that I mentioned in part 1. Just to remind you, my suggestion is not gonna sound sexy and it might freak some of you out, but the only reason why I'm giving you this suggestion and this approach is because looking back now, I can more clearly see what a difference that this would have made for me if I was where you are now. So that's why I'm doing this. So my suggestion is the following. You must try to connect more with the other group. You must try to relate on a less superficial level with the other group. In other words, you must learn to become good at building relationships. You must learn to become good at building relationships. And this is as easy as taking your peers, inviting your peers, listen to me closely, inviting your peers out for coffee. The other CAs, the more junior associates, obviously not the senior most associates. Obviously that doesn't make sense. Not even I would do that. Sure. Oh yeah, by the way, make sure to stay till the end of this video so that I can give you bonus tips and resources on how to make practical use of the advice that I'm going to be sharing with you. So yeah, try, or you must learn to become good at building relationships. Now I know that there's some of you that's not really impressed with that type of approach and with this suggestion. But I can tell you this. I wish I had someone who could tell me the importance or what building relationship really is going to mean, would have meant for my profession, for my development. Let me put something into perspective for you. You are gonna go into an environment if you're still in law school. If you are there already, if you were CA and you are there, you would find yourself, or you are going to find yourself in an environment where you are competing. And I don't like using that word, but you are competing for a position to stay on as an associate, if that's where you want to be, obviously. And there's one thing that you absolutely cannot afford to be. You can't afford to be a wallflower, someone who is seen to be sitting in the corner most of the time, someone who is seen not engaging with others that much, someone who is afraid not to speak up, someone who, if all other colleagues go out to have some social drinks or just to socialize, you don't go with. You cannot afford to be that type of person. As I said, this might not be very sexy advice that I'm giving you, But another thing you have to bear in mind is that you are going to work, or you are going to be a professional within a service industry. What that means is that you are going to be serving clients, people. Now, I know initially going into corporate, you're not going to have clients, but I can tell you something, that you are actually going to have clients. Your clients are going to be the secretaries. Your clients are going to be the other CAs. Your clients are going to be the associates and also the directors. Why? Because there will be times within your team that there might not be as much work, and it might be incumbent upon you to go out and to find some more work, obviously within the practice or within the firm. And that means you will have to go out and relate, obviously. You can ask, you don't have to take my word for this, right? So you can ask attorneys who are accomplished the value of importance that they place on relationship building. I know a colored director, but he's at one of the big accounting firms, and we've been speaking about this topic. And it's interesting for me because I've asked him at times, isn't he concerned about some colleagues getting better work than what he's getting, and you know what? And I was kind of stunned by this, but I wasn't too shocked at the answer. But without skipping a beat, he said, "Vernon, I spend almost 50% of my time networking." In other words, looking after the clients that I have and building relationships with clients that I don't yet have a solid relationship with. Interesting. Also, Dr. Larry Richard, he's the topmost researcher on lawyer personality. Yes, there's a thing called lawyer personality. And in his paper called Lawyer Personality Revealed, he makes a distinction between rainmakers, i.e. the attorneys who are able to get clients more consistently. They just find it easier to get clients because in firms, generally speaking, you have people who they call rainmakers. And then he draws this distinction between rainmakers and those who don't really, bring in clients that much, but they do a lot of the work. And what do you think one of the biggest softer skills are that these rainmakers possess? One of the biggest skills that these rainmakers that they possess, I think you know what the answer is by now. Now, the thing about relationship building is, just to give you a little bit more clarity, is that it's not about going out and smoozing people, buying people stuff so that they can give you work. It doesn't work that way. Building relationships involves human dynamics, i.e. understanding how win-win works, understanding how exchange of value works, understanding how when you make a greeting, that it's not just about greeting, that it's about connecting as well. It's about when you leave each other, it's about the other person thinking to themselves, oh wow, I actually want to take this further. Do you know what I mean? I actually want to spend more time and see where this goes because it seems like this is going to be a win-win. Because if you don't understand how human dynamics work and building relationships actually work, what happens is sometimes that you can piss people off unnecessarily. You can alienate people without knowing what it is that you did. And you want to know how to not do that. You want to be able to know how to engineer the relationship in such a way that the person actually feels good when you go away. And I know that really does sound like an ideal, but it's not an ideal. Remember, I said I'm going to share some resources with you. The internet, my friends, really now, really is filled with resources on building relationships, on networking. Guys, someone who I want to recommend, she's in America. She is a relationship, she does relationship building training, networking training, communication training. She's a communications expert. In corporations, that's what she does. Her name is Leil Lowndes. I don't even know whether I'm pronouncing that right. So Leil Lowndes, her books include How to Be a People Magnet. Ooh. How to instantly connect with anyone. Interesting. How to talk to anyone. 92 little tricks. Interesting. The internet is filled with how to build relationships, my friends. And remember, relationship building is not just about in the office, right? It's about you going out there and going to networking events. Absolutely. And it's not just about outside of the office as well. Imagine how juicy your personal relationships become. The last point that I want to make is that I know that some of you might be thinking, why the hell am I supposed to go out and make connections and invite my peers for coffee? Why can't they do that? Listen, isn't this your career? What the hell have you been studying for? I'm just asking. And there's something else that you might find very interesting. This might intrigue you. But your colleagues, your peers who you might invite for coffee, you might be intrigued by the fact that they will actually reciprocate quite enthusiastically. Some of them, not all of them, obviously. I'm making generalizations here as well. But some of them will. I'll tell you why. Because a lot of them get this type of information. Their people tell them about this. They know. A lot of them know that when they meet with you, that they'll want to do it because they know, a lot of them know that even though you might not stay in the firm, you might one day be a legal advisor for Transnet or for, THG, or for whoever, for Telkom, and that they might need the work. So they understand this. They've got long-term thinking when it comes to networking and building relationships, because it is a long-term game. But they work on it from the word go. And I know there are some who won't reciprocate, and that's fine. But this is about us, and this is about our career and how we can grow and how we can make things better for us. So I thought I'd share that. If you like the content of this video, then please hit the like button and also subscribe. Please subscribe, and then hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button so that you get notified when I upload new content. There's still going to be a lot that we're going to be talking about, and I look forward to sharing. And also please remember to send me your personal questions, so that I can also, with some of you, deal with more personal stuff. Not personal as in personal, but something that you might be facing and you might want a bit more clarity around it. So yeah, and also please share this. There might be people who really need this. It was a pleasure to share this, and look out for my next upload. Thanks guys. Bye.